gentlemen. Behind the curtain, you get to see what is going on. And now we're going to go live on Facebook Live. And by the way, my YouTube friends and my Comedy Schools Radio Network.com friends, I had something that I had chosen as the memento we were going to show you today. And then my wife at the last minute handed me something 10 times cooler. 10 times cooler, and that's what we're going to go with. Okay. And the 3, and the 2, and the 1. And we are live, ladies and gentlemen, on Facebook. Facebook Live. Once again, I am Tony Vicich, and you are listening to or watching Living on a Thin Line, your daily diversion from all the anxiety, weirdness, and hoo-ha going on in the world today. We come to you every day at 2 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. I don't know what time it is where you are, but you'll be able to figure it out. My brother Jerry has popped on. Jerry, I got a treat for you in the album selection today. You'll like this because you've got some stories behind this album and at least one of the musicians. So Tina and Mike Lawson, how's it going? How you guys doing? Good to see you. Jerry, how are you? I got a great show for you today. It is the beginning of the end of the initial quarantine in a lot of places. They're starting to open things up. They're going to open up the casino down the street from where we live. And I said, no, you know the old joke, your money or your life, your money or your life. Now you'll be able to gamble both. I don't know that I'll be running right down to a casino tomorrow night or Friday night to go hit me. I don't know yet. I don't know if they're going to put my risk. But I don't know what your thoughts on all of this are. All of us are tired. We're tired of being cooped up. No matter what the level of coop was, you're just kind of tired of it. But at the same time, we still want everybody to be safe and stay with us for as long as humanly possible. That's going on. You know what? In the middle of all of this, you still got to do normal stuff. In the middle of this, you still got to do normal stuff. So today we had the windshield fixed in Shirley's car. She's got a bitchin' 2015 Jeep Renegade. It's a cool car, and twice now because of the Arizona roads and the trucks that just overpopulate Arizona roads. Her windshields have gotten cracked, and we got to replace today. You know, some people go, years later, people go, oh my God, during the quarantine, did you starve? We go, no, we got a windshield replaced and we swam. But whatever your situation is, hello, Virgie Frank. Hello, Champ de Blasio. Whatever your situation is, I hope that you'll be able to handle it with great aplomb. We're doing the best we can. Now already starting to think back because this quarantine does have a past. Okay, we're either 2 months or over 2 months into quarantine, and it does have a past. And it does feel a little different now than it did in its early days. In its early days when it was really a kind of a descent into darkness. Whether there's light at the end of the tunnel or not, currently there will be light at the end of the tunnel. Whether there's light that can actually be seen, okay, or just fool's light, I don't know. But in one sense, it kind of makes everyone feel just a little bit better. All right. So Shirley and I are still going to, we've worked our butts off to be able to create a viable life under kind of a social distancing platform. So, and I don't know that we're ready to just toss that away and go run out in the street yet. I don't know what your thoughts on it. You can tell me what your thoughts are if you got thoughts. Okay. But that's not really what we do here, is it? We talk about goofy stuff. I got great stuff for you. Oh, a couple things to tell you about this Sunday night, live Zoom show with none other than Jonathan Gregory. People have to go, what are these Zoom shows like? I go, they're like mini pay-per-views. That's all it is. They go, that seems so weird. I go, have you ever watched a pay-per-view event? And they go, yeah. I go, it's a pay-per-view event. Okay, the main difference is instead of 3 cameras, it's 1 camera. But you're paying money, and then you have access to an entertainer who's working very hard to create something really, really cool and special for you, okay? So, heck, man, if you're not doing things Sunday night at 7 o'clock, go to comedyschools.com. That's comedyschools.com. or ComedySchoolsRadioNetwork.com, and buy a ticket, and you'll enjoy the show. I did a podcast earlier today. I did another guy's podcast, a guy named Orest. Orest is a friend of mine who now lives in Las Vegas, who did my workshop at one time, and he's got a site called Old Guys Talk. It's kind of dedicated to guys who are 60 plus, being able to have full and complete and fun lives. And I did a podcast, and he asked me, because we were talking about comedy, he asked me my thoughts on political correctness and some comics refusing to go play college campuses. And he referenced primarily Jerry Seinfeld and Chris Rock, who now a number of years ago said, well, you know, we don't even play college campuses anymore. They're so politically correct. But the truth of the matter is, Chris being in his late 40s, early 50s, I believe now, Jerry being in his 60s, if you think back to when you were 18, 19 years old, and if you went to college, I didn't finish, but I went for a couple of years, and they were going to have comedic entertainment on the campus. Was it a 60-year-old guy they brought in? They go, all right, all you kids, this is like 1974, you know, and I'm out there at Jefferson College in Hillsboro, Missouri. And they go, all right, kids, settle down. Got a couple very funny comics coming up for you. All right. First off, Jan Murray, and then Joey Bishop. Do you think we would give a fuck about Jan Murray and Joey Bishop? Not that they weren't funny guys. And as a student of comedy, they did some funny stuff. You know, Jack Carter, ladies and gentlemen. Hey, kids, what's going on? You wacky college guys? No. They're going to bring on comics who talk about, you can bring in comics who are in their 20s and early 30s. You can still talk about stuff that the college kids can relate to. So comedy is what you make it, ladies and gentlemen. Comedy is what you make it. It's subjective, but it's fun. It's subjective, but it's fun. You got to find your own inner funny and then just get people to be attracted to it. I think, I don't know. So that was a question he asked me about political correctness. Things change over time. You know, what people accept, what they won't accept, language, words, subject matter. It just keeps changing, and you got to try to keep up with those changes. Or do like me, just cater to a very small audience. Speaking of great comics who didn't care what people thought about him at all, but wanted to be funny, and that's what people forget about these people. I have here in my hand one of my dearest friends for many years was a gentleman by the name of Bill Hicks. If you don't know who Bill Hicks is, Google him, YouTube him. A lot of people say he was the last great American stand-up. There's been great American stand-up since Bill, but man, did he set the bar. As someone that I knew back then said about him, they said he's Sam Kinison with a brain. All that anger, all that rage, all that energy, all that intelligence, all that common sense turned into fan-fucking-tastic jokes. All of it just enveloped into one very sweet, shy boy from Houston, Texas. Bill passed away in July. No, it wasn't July 25th. This was for a memorial for him. He passed away in February of 1994. But this was a memorial that they did for him. And I have a copy. They sent it to me. So that's Bill Hicks right there. And there you go, YouTubers. That's Bill Hicks. And that was towards the end of his life. He inexplicably died of pancreatic cancer at the age of 34. And it says on the front here, I left in love, in laughter, and in truth. And wherever truth, love, and laughter abide, I'm there in spirit. So Bill was a dear friend of mine, a funny guy. On stage, a dark, maniacal, anarchist rager. Off stage, a quiet, shy, spiritual, whimsical guy. You know, so many comics are made up of so many different parts. So this is from a memorial they did for him in 1994 in Austin, Texas. And they had a music video. Jimmy Pineapple, one of the Houston. There were a lot of great comics out of Houston you'd never heard of. You heard of Sam Kinison, and you heard of Bill Hicks. You never heard of Jimmy Pineapple or Ron Robertson or Fred Greenlee or Andy Huggins or Riley Barber, Fallon Woodlawn, TJ Shannon, Mark Wilkes, John Fernetti, and Ron Schock, Kevin Booth, all great people who were all friends with Bill. If you don't know who Bill Hicks was, Google or YouTube Bill Hicks. I was very close to Bill, so close that I don't talk about it a lot because I don't really want to. I never wanted to make it look like I was trading on his name. I'm not saying that any of these people did, but and I'm also now well acquainted with his brother Steve. Excuse me, always close friends with his mom Mary. Google Bill Hicks. Just talking about it makes me a little. Bill Hicks was one time attacked for saying that attacking yuppie children from the stage one time, not physically attacking them, but attacking their spoiled children. But they didn't know that Bill Hicks I knew, who would come over to my house and they'd eat hamburgers in the park and swing my daughter on a swing. As a matter of fact, I'll tell you this story. When Bill knew that he was gone, and he actually came over to my house in the San Fernando Valley to say goodbye, he came over, and it was a nice day, and Bill Hicks and my 4-year-old daughter at the time, Alicia, and I went to Carl's Jr., got hamburgers, and went to a park in Pacoima, where Richie Valens is from. La 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 bamba. We went to a park in Pacoima, California, and set up a blanket under a tree. And my 4-year-old daughter, Bill Hicks, and myself sat there and had a picnic. And I remember Bill going, "I don't feel bad. I don't feel sick. Everything feels fine." You know, and I go, wow. And then my daughter said, "Can I go on the swings?" And I said, yes. And she was on the swings. And then she went, "Bill, swing me." So this Prince of Darkness, a man who had been admonished and attacked by the Church of England for his language on British television, walked over to these swings and began to swing my daughter, push my daughter back and forth on the swings, and called her Allie Booster. It's the first time I'd ever heard her called that, and that became her nickname, Allie Booster. She's going and making cricket noises to make her laugh. As we were leaving the park that day, and I was putting Alicia in the back seat, and I think Bill actually sat in the back with her, and I was sitting in the front seat. Bill said, "Hey, V," that's what he called me, V for Vicich. "Hey, V, all this stuff that went on today, talking about God and spirituality and having a picnic in the park and swing your daughter in a swing." I go, "Yeah." He goes, "Don't fucking tell anybody, okay?" I said, "Bill, I'm telling everybody. And now I've told you." So that's our little knick-knack for the day. I've got something cool around here, too. I just have misplaced it. A rare vinyl pressing of one of his shows that his mother, Mary, recently sent to me. So, all right. Okay. I don't know if my brother's still with us because he's busy during the day all the time. Looks like he is. Jerry, going to get a kick out of this. We now move on to the music portion of the show. I know I should bring up the top 10 list of the coolest people ever. There's one more person to choose. I'm waiting to hear what you guys say, but no later than Friday. And I think I know where we're headed with it. We will have finally chosen by hook or crook. So we always, I go through my extensive vinyl album collection. And what I'm beginning to notice is that other friends of mine are now doing day 5 of the albums that influenced me, day 15, and doing little stories about the album. So once again, I am pleased and humbled and grateful that I have been able to put a germ of a seed of an idea that is a positive thing into my friends' lives as they copy my shit. So, all right, this album right here, keep it in mind, these might be musicians that you loved at one time or forgot about, or people you never heard before. All right, Jerry, this is for you. I dug it out. Check it out. The name of the album is Dust, and it is the self-titled album by the band Dust. Dust was made up of Richie Wise, Mark Bell, and Kenny Aronson. Okay, side 1 was Stone Cold Woman. Side 2 was Chasing Ladies. Cut 2. Cut 3 was Going Easy. Cut 4 was Love Me Hard. On side 2, working from the back to the end, Loose Goose, Often Shadows Felt, and their big hit, From a Dry Camel. And it just had kind of weird loopy bass thing that just kind of grabbed us when we were young teenagers. Jerry, who was it that we saw them with? They were part of a three-act bill, and it was just a total mismatch. Dust was huge in St. Louis for a very short period of time. I bought this album when they came out. Mark Bell joined the Ramones after Dust. There, that's right. I remember that. So the drummer, and I don't know if you'll be able to see him here. So he's the middle guy. You see the middle guy? Look at that. Look at that. Looks like a Ramon. He became, yeah, man. Yeah, he already had the Ramone look. Mark Bell joined the Ramones after Dust. So Dust was kind of this strange blues rock kind of, that kind of really kind of deep sound. I can't even describe the sound, kind of a turgid sound, not a real, kick-ass tight rocking thing, just kind of a looping kind of stuff that they did. And And who did Kenny Aronson play with, Jerry? He went on to do some stuff too, didn't he? Didn't he? They were very popular, and then one of them ended up with the Ramones. And we saw them with the weirdest lineup you could ever have for a concert where the headliner was the star. It was Dust with their sort of thick blues rock kind of stuff. And then none other than Black Oak, Arkansas, Jim Dandy to the rescue, Jim Dandy to the go, Jim Dandy. If you don't know who Black Oak, Arkansas is, you certainly know who they influenced, because David Lee Roth from Van Halen said he took his entire shtick from Jim Dandy of Black Oak, Arkansas. The whole thing that he did up on stage, he took from this unique Southern rocker in Black Oak, Arkansas. And then the headliners were King Crimson, one of the most complex and took themselves so seriously prog rock bands in history, headlined after a Southern boogie band and a Midwestern blues-based band. That's right. Kenny Aronson did Louie. God, what was that? But we all knew the song. We all hated the damn song. That song just made us sick to our stomach after a while, although you never forget it. Poor boy, you're going to cry. So Dust, and I dug that out for my brother Jerry. He says, I spoke with Richie, was about a half hour on the phone a couple of years ago. Oh, wow. That is cool. That is so cool. So Dust, ladies and gentlemen, check them out. Google them, YouTube them. Right? YouTube from a Dry Campbell, and then tell us if we were taking too many drugs when we liked that band. Second on our list today of bands that you may have loved but totally forgot about, or only remember one song from them because they play that one song on classic rock over and over. And it's a great album. You don't realize what a great album it is till you look at all the songs on it. This one, Stand, by none other than one of the best unique hybrid funk, rock, pop, jazz bands in the world, Sly and the Family Stone. And this album was Stand. Now, we all became aware of Sly and the Family Stone because of Woodstock, because of their blistering performance in the movie Woodstock of Want to Take You Higher. It was just goddamn stunning. You know, it was for many young white kids throughout America, it was really our first deep dive into really great black music. I mean, we knew rhythm and blues and soul and maybe James Brown somewhat, but it was a night as we all went to the drive-in over and over to watch Woodstock over and over and sat on the hoods of our cars shirtless and shoeless on hot summer nights, smoking pot and drinking wine, just seeing if we could have a little connection with the experience that Woodstock was. We got to watch Sly and the Family Stone over and over. So, and just circle back, Stories was the name of the band that did Louie. So I'm looking for I actually took the record out. Here it is. So I can tell you all the great songs on Sly and the Family Stone Stand. Side one, first song is Stand, which Pee Wee Herman did in such a silly way on his very first special, but did such a good job with as well. The second song on Stand, I cannot say the title. I can, but I would tell you out of decorum and respect, I won't. But it was Don't Call Me blank Whitey. Don't call me, and then there's a word that I won't use, and it starts with an N, ends with an R. Whitey. And I did not know, for whatever reason, that was a song on this platinum-selling album. I Want to Take You Higher. Want to Take You Higher is on this. Somebody's Watching You, Simple Love Song, all by Sylvester Stewart. In other words, Sly himself. Side two. Okay. Everyday People. I am no better, and neither are you. We are the same. Everyday People, stunning song. Sex Machine, and it says they're all by Stewart, so I don't think it's James Brown's Sex Machine. And then You Can Make It If You Try. So if you want to listen to timeless music, if you want to listen to that amalgamation of funk and pop and rock that seem to hold the promise of so much more, but unfortunately, sadly, Sly succumbed to serious drug and I believe mental health issues over the years until finally the band actually kicked him out of the band and would still tour, as a nostalgia thing, which was kind of weird. Stunning visuals, stunning performance, great show, perfect for the time. Sly and the Family Stone. The album is Stand, and just Google or YouTube it, and you will enjoy every moment of it. We're gonna do a little short show today because I have a workshop tonight, and I will say this, man, and I think Shirley will agree with me. Our backyard is just looking fantastic. We are getting that backyard clean. At the beginning of all of this, I had letting the weeds get out of hand in my backyard, and they were like hip high around my swimming pool. Just weeds everywhere and stuff in there, and the dogs out there doing what dogs do in weeds. And for the last 2 months, man, we have got that yard and that pool looking nice. And my front yard looks nice too. It's one of the things that kind of pulled me through. Sometimes, oftentimes during the day, as my mind was going a million miles an hour and my heart was racing and I was full of fear or full of anxiety or rage or anger, I would just go out and start working in the yard, and I calmed down a little bit. And then I found oftentimes a solution to many of my problems. Those that I can find a solution to. I don't want to end this with any sort of 12-step stuff, but always remember this. Always ask God to grant you the serenity to accept the things you cannot change, and the courage to change the things you can, and the wisdom to know the difference. And if you do that, you'll have a good day. You have a good day. I want you guys to have a good day. Thanks a lot for popping on today. Hope you enjoyed the albums I shared. Hope you enjoyed the story about Bill Hicks. Tell your friends, tell your neighbors, tell your pals. There's something to do and listen to every day at 2 p.m. on Facebook Live, and it is a show, Living on a Thin Line. I'll be back tomorrow at 2. And if you ever thought about taking a stand-up comedy workshop, go to comedyschools.com. Check it out. Register, sign up, and before you know it, you and I will be FaceTiming directly on Zoom throughout the week, and I'll be helping you take your thoughts and your ideas and your dreams and aspirations and turn them into something really fun and funny. For my producer, who just happens to be my wife, Shirley Vicich, I want to thank you for watching. I'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye. All right, YouTubers. I'll see you tomorrow. Thanks for watching. You know what? I went short. I'm tired. I got to get some sleep. I got to be on for tonight. If you want me to stay, you stick around today.
I'm not going to swim until the swimmer zero gets.
No, you don't want to do that. I play my guitar for coming to take a nap. I had a bunch of junk food, a bunch of Cheez-Its.
Right, that leftover burrito that
Young Sullivan didn't eat?
Forgot to take. No, he didn't want. He wanted to save it. He was going to either take it and eat it later, or give it to his mom, or give it to his dad. That's what he's done. So there's two things. We should try.
And we are live, ladies and gentlemen.
Hold on. Let me turn this down.
Facebook Live.
Two things what?
We should try a little practice with those audio sounds I have at some point. I just have to figure out how I'm going to house them.
I'm toying with the idea of just writing my own theme song too. Just recording something real simple with this guitar. The thing I've been doing, or just playing that. Just so we got a song.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Not that I would do it under any other circumstances, but we want to kind of dress this up, especially if we're not going to be competing with live in-person shows again.
The Season of the Witch, Donovan.
Just 2 seasons of which. Donovan and Bloomfield Cooper on the Super Sessions.
That's not him, so.
See you in a minute. That's Donovan.
Mm-mm.
Huh?
No, but that's what people do. They put up their versions of a song on SoundCloud. A lot of them.
They get around the licensing?
Well, if they're singing it, or they strip something out of the song. That's the only thing I've noticed about it. There's a certain length of time that you can play an original song.
There's arguments about that. I've read till my eyes were bleeding about this stuff. Looking for the loophole. You're dealing with some of the crookedest people in the world, music people business. So they've all been fucking getting rich off loopholes their whole life. So they don't know how to close them. Think about 1 million Larry Rickmans. If you want me to stay.
Sully wanted me to go show his mom how to do a live YouTube channel. And I said, I think she could figure it out, Sully. All right. I may have to activate your Dropbox if I can't find a place to put those. Because it's the only thing we can. Well, we could put it on SoundCloud, but it'd be open.
Yeah.
I can make it private, but you'd still see what we downloaded. gonna start looking at washer and dryers. Where are we getting it?
Lowe's. They've got one for. They got one. They got a washer and a dryer, both for $3.99.
I'll look.
$3.99.
I'll look.
Still got to have them delivered and installed.
What?
Yeah.
I gotta use this to agitate. And when you come down, you need to bring your basket.